Hey friends, welcome back to Sophia's Dream Life. Thank you so much for stopping by. So for today's video, I'm actually filming this, it's March 31st, and I wanted to talk a bit about Futuristic February. So this was started by a couple, I think they're called Sustainable Duo, and I actually heard about it on Instagram from this really awesome woman named Tosha Lobsinger. She is, I think, a pretty prominent vegan, low-waste activist in the Greater Vancouver community. And she shared a post and I saw it and I was like, okay, cool, I'm gonna do this, see what happens. But basically what Futuristic February is it was started by this couple to kind of raise awareness about how much waste we as individuals produce. So what Futuristic February is that for the whole month of February, we keep track of our waste. So rather than bringing our trash out or bringing our recycling out, any non-perishables we keep and we see at the end of the month how much we've accumulated. So for me, this meant all my trash I was keeping, including recycling. Compost I would take out weekly just as normal because obviously you're not going to store that for a whole month. But yeah, it was really interesting. I actually thought I produced a fair amount of waste, like I was kind of surprised, but then I started looking at some other people who had done Futuristic February who had produced like 4 times as much waste as me, and that was kind of like jaw-dropping. Like I was like, okay, if I think I'm producing a lot of waste and I'm actually on the lower scale, think of people who aren't even conscious of this. Think of how much waste they're producing. So it was pretty eye-opening in that sense. I'm going to take you through the waste I had and produced. One thing to think about though is the point is that you're not ashamed of how much waste you produce. And so I really encourage people to do this. Obviously February's passed, but you can do it for April, for May, over the summer. And the goal is just to see, okay, this is an area that I'm producing a lot of waste. This is where I can reduce that for the future, and then figure out how you want to reduce it and implement that, and then the next month keep track of your waste again, just to kind of see if it worked. I ended up like doing it for February, and then I was kind of like, okay, like March is really busy, I'm not gonna have time to film this video, I may as well just keeping track. And so this waste I'm going to take you through is actually for the month of February and March, so 2 months of waste for me. So yeah, let's check it out. Okay, so I tried to get an angle where like you could see me going through the trash, but it just wasn't working. So I'm gonna go through it here. I didn't really want to bring it to where I film because that's usually sitting on my bed. I don't really want my trash on my bed, so we're gonna go through it right here. You can see me in the mirror. Hey. Okay. Taking you through how I store my trash so that it's clean, it doesn't smell, etc. So first off, I have this bin that has a closed lid, which is where I keep my compost. And it's nice because it contains the smell, and then what I do is I keep it in a bag, and I always put like some paper lining or something else on the bottom so that if I have tea bags or wet things in here, apple cores, etc., it doesn't get gross and I don't end up like pulling out a leaky bag. One thing though, on the note of tea bags, you can just see one tea bag down there, and actually you can see makeup wipes in there too. You cannot actually compost most makeup wipes and most tea bags. Most tea bags are actually made of plastic fibers, so unless you're able to contact the company themselves and ensure that it is like organic material rather than plastic, you should not be putting them in the compost. I use Arbonne tea bags, which are completely made from plant-based materials, but otherwise I use all loose leaf tea for things like black tea and green tea, etc. And same for makeup wipes. I use Arbonne makeup wipes, which compost in 80 days, which is pretty cool. Most makeup wipes take 1 to 200 years to break down because they're plastic fibers. So unless you know the brand you're using and you know the company, probably stop using it or don't put it in the compost. So that's compost, and I take it out about once a week. It fills up about halfway, I would say, just because like I live by myself, so I'm not producing a whole lot. But like I don't like the idea. I don't like even taking it out and having it smell. So yeah. Okay. Actually, I'm gonna save garbage to last. The next thing is pizza boxes. So depending where you live, these can go in recycling or compost, and so if you live somewhere that has an industrial compost system, then they usually go in compost. I actually had 2 pizza boxes, but I take them out when I take my compost out, and I didn't really want to keep them in my room, so this is the second one. But as you can see, like, it's not all that big. 1 person size pizza. And then this is soft plastic. So this, I didn't have a lot of soft plastic, but I'm gonna take it out and go through it. So honestly don't even know what this was from. It was like packaging for something that I bought, and this as well. So yeah. Some places you can't recycle soft plastic, but where I live, they do have a soft plastic recycling program. Most places, though, you can bring it to a depot, so that's one thing. So this is actually kind of like a random box. It's a granola bar box, and my dad repurposed it and sent me like a care package while at university, some good vegan treats from Vancouver that they don't have out here in Waterloo. So that was pretty awesome, and you can see it has like chocolate crumbs, so I'm still debating basically, should I take the time to wipe it out and then recycle it, or should I put it in the compost? I don't know. I'm probably going to wipe it out just because I don't know if glossiness like this is compostable. So it's better safe than sorry, and it takes me 30 seconds to wipe out. So that'll be pretty quick. Yeah, the next thing is my big box of recycling. So this is all the recycling I produced over 2 months. So all of February, all of March. And you can see all of this here is plastic, but this and the cherry box there are actually the only plastic I had, which I think is pretty awesome. And then the rest is all paper. And I'm going to go through some of what that plastic is and basically how I'm going to work to reduce that. It was actually kind of funny that I have all this paper recycling because usually I don't have that much paper, but I was kind of redecorating my dorm room and set up this really cute mood wall or like mood board style thing. And so I was using cutouts from magazines. So those are all magazines. But yeah, I'll take you through what is in there next. And here is my mood wall too. I think it's pretty cute. Got some style, some abs, because that's a summer goal, and some really nice interior design. Yeah. Okay, so I take note of the box just so I can go through it. One thing to note though is I have been working to reduce my waste for a while. So it's not like this is just where you're going to start. You are probably going to start off producing more waste than this. I've made conscious choices to not purchase things and not eat out in certain areas just because I know they produce a lot of waste and I don't want to contribute to that. But even with that, you can still see there's quite a bit of waste. So I'm going to go through that. I thought this was quite hilarious because the skincare and hair care products I use, they actually last me 4 to 6 months. And February happened to be the month that was like my 6th month of using a bunch of stuff. So, but even then you can see I would be really interested to compare this to a regular skincare company that only lasts for a month or 2. And I'm curious, if people would say they produce more than this on an average month or not. So, yeah. Starting off, get well soon. These are my key to not ever getting sick. Probiotic, super important to be taking probiotic for health because generally Western diets don't get that, but sucks it comes in plastic. Protein shake scooper. They are recyclable though, which is good. They have a little recycling number here. I also strongly recommend learning about these recycling symbols because most products, if they don't have a recycling number on them, they actually can't be recycled unless they're paper. Got a shampoo bottle. I cut them up because gotta get every last drop so we're not wasting product. This is from cookies, and it's actually, there's 3 in here, and I cut them so they would stack better because I like for things to not take up a lot of space. Some more skincare stuff. Oh yeah, you can't see me. Okay. This is from these makeup wipes. This breaks off and it's totally recyclable, the compostable makeup wipes. And then, what else? This is from Trader Joe's banana bread, my favorite banana bread ever. So good, so good. But the bottom part is actually compostable and it's a cardboard material. And so I would use that to line my compost sometimes. And then the top is plastic though. And then it's got this. I don't actually know for sure if this is recyclable, so I'm going to look into it before I actually throw it out. But yeah, if anyone knows, let me know in the comments. This is essential oils. This is glass, which is awesome. And then the lid is plastic. But what's cool is you can actually, it's really easy to break them off. So see how it's basically empty there. You could also reuse this, but I don't really know what I would reuse it for right now. So I'm going to be recycling it. And then foil. Foil is recyclable. It's aluminum, which means it has a lot of value. Yeah. Got some stuff here. We got some more foil, some more recyclable plastic containers. Yeah, pretty basic. Got vitamin B12 container. These amazing dark chocolate covered cherries from Trader Joe's. So good. Unfortunately come in plastic, but it is good that the plastic is recyclable. Now this was literally, there's such a story behind this and it's so sad. So for the scholarship I got at my school, there was a breakfast with the dean of our faculty and they had this food provided and the vegan option was oatmeal and it came in a paper coffee cup. And I haven't used a paper coffee cup in probably years, and so this was really sad. And it was kind of disappointing because it's like Faculty of Environment. You'd think they would be using non-single-use items, but they weren't, so that was disappointing. I think, though, it is totally paper. It's not like the Starbucks cups that are lined with plastic, so it is going to be recyclable, but still unfortunate. This also came with that. That was kind of disappointing, but yeah, sometimes there's waste you can't avoid because of professional commitments and other like social commitments, so that's kind of the way it goes. Is paper. So you can see I have a lot of paper I produce, mainly tea bags. Kind of annoying. Most of my tea I drink in bulk though, and this is like a really nice herbal tea, so yeah. Band-Aid wrappers, product wrappers. It's pretty similar. It's a lot of like product packaging. We've got some of these, like, I don't know, I think I got these when I was in Philly, and then I was like using them to make my mood board, and I just never used them because I was like back in November, and then finally I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna throw them out because I don't need them anymore, and what are they doing here? Copper branch. I almost always remember to bring to-go containers, but I didn't this time, which was really unfortunate. More tea bag wrappers. Yeah, pretty basic. A lot of like little paper scraps. Yeah, more paper product packaging. Some like sticky notes that I've used. Yeah. You can see there's a pretty big trend. So tea bags are a big one, product packaging. Oh yeah, letter envelopes. It's kind of funny because I don't really get letters, but I just have happened to be getting a few. And honestly, I like getting letters, and I'm not at the stage in life where I'm getting bills yet, so it's still exciting to get letters. The next thing are all these magazines. Now, some magazines are recyclable and some aren't, and so when you feel them, you can feel if they're glossy or not, or if they're like, I guess rough paper. I don't know how to describe it, but you can tell if they're recyclable or not in that sense. Some glossy magazines, though, are recyclable, so it just depends on where you live. I would say do put them in the recycling. There's often pretty good sorting measures in place as long as your products are clean. So yeah, this was written out on my assignment. Tea box, or box that my tea bags came in. Trader Joe's again. I would say Trader Joe's is probably where I can reduce a lot of my waste. More boxes. Got some little, okay, this was so sad. These are like little product samples. And when we went to Philly, the dog there, Atticus, he got into them and he literally ate the cleanser. So he's fine though, which goes to show Arbonne cleansers are safe to eat, but I thought that was pretty funny. But anyways, and then the boxes are ruined, so yeah, that's basically it for my waste. Oh yeah, and then garbage. So everything there is recyclable, which is great, but still plastic should be reduced. Now my next thing was garbage. This is a lot of chip bags and a lot of candy wrappers. So yeah, sour sweets, these are so good, but they come with a lot of packaging, which is really sad. And then you can see, rather than using a plastic bag, I use my protein shake bags because those are something that I really rely on in the morning. And I honestly find it like super silly when people throw their garbage out in plastic bags or they buy bags for their garbage. Like in here, I have a lot of chip bags and I can take it out because it's pretty well stuffed in there. But I would say it's probably mainly chip bags, non-recyclable plastic. And yeah, one thing to note though about all this waste is that currently I'm living in residence, which means that I'm not cooking for myself. And so a lot of times when we think of waste, we think of food products and what we're eating for food to be a big part of that. Basically, one thing to think about though when it comes to food products is that most of the food that I'm eating in the calf downstairs is I could buy it bulk and it'd be really simple. It's basically like I don't eat soy, so it's not tofu, which comes in a lot of packaging normally. It's literally like rice, whole food vegetables, beans, quinoa, which is really easy to buy in bulk, and more beans. And so and like sweet potatoes, a lot of just whole food vegetables. And so it's super simple to buy those in bulk. And so I would say, to be totally honest, this waste here, probably cooking for myself would not have added a lot. Maybe a little bit, but not a lot, just because it is super simple to get those products in bulk. Yeah, so that's my waste. Thank you for listening, and I really encourage you to like take time, go through your waste, reduce your waste for a month, and just keep track of it because it's really interesting to see what you are producing and yeah, and see the impact that you're making on the world. All right, thanks for watching. Bye. Okay, I'm gonna see if this angle works. Here's my trash, recycling, garbage, compost, and like other miscellaneous recycling. So I'm gonna take you through what's in there. through the trash. Man, it's not working. Okay, so this is like the corner of my room that I keep my trash right here. You actually can't see it, but oh, okay, that's much better. Is that better? Not really.